I'm back. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what the traditionalists like Joel Osteen and all them on TBN are thinking? You got a cowboy hat wearing, preaching son of a gun that's got a pistol on his side and preaching the word of God. Boy, ain't that crazy? Yeah, of course I'm crazy. I'm just crazy enough to do it because I ain't a traditionalist. I ain't bound up by tradition. I'm not bound up by that garbage that they call the Word of God that ain't the Word of God. I'm going to stick to the Word and I'm going to stick to the Constitution. And so should you, if you got any sense about you at all. Okay? Let's move on. Think about it, what I told you a while ago in that other video. Noah building a boat in the middle of the desert. You couldn't pay a drop of water to come by. You're preparing your food. And you got people that come by. And they may know you're preparing food. You've got your weapons and all. And you live differently than you used to because you're awake and not in denial. And they think, how stupid is he? Let them keep thinking it, my friend. If they don't want to wake up, you can't force them to wake up. Like I said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You understand me? You understand me? You can't make it drink. So you can pray for these people and you can have concern for them, but do not let their stupidity and their denial deter you from getting prepared, you see. Because just as sure as there's a God in heaven, it's coming. You see. Number one is coming, watch this, number one is coming because of the evil that man so loves to do. And number two is coming because the Word of God says it is. But number three. There is an elite group of people that I wouldn't piss it. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't piss down their throat if their lungs was on fire. Now that ain't Christian. No, I'm just being straight with you, okay? Sorry that my speeches ain't not eloquent and sorry. No, I'm not sorry for it that I don't wear a tie and that I got a cowboy hat on and I got a daggone pistol stuck on my side, and I'm not worried about it because I got confidence, number one, in God. Number two, I've prepared. And number three, I'm getting other preparations and knowledge from other people. And number four, hey, buddy, I'm praying to God daily, sometimes 7 or 8 times a day, to spare my children and my wife from what's coming. But I'm prepared if he decides not to take me out of here, whether it be in a car wreck, or I die in my sleep, or my children die, and we have to go through this fire, I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that I can possibly, and so can my family, get through it, even through the fire without burning. That's the faith. See, faith is substance thing hoped for, evidence thing not seen. Okay? Now, let's move on. I am trying to stir and kindle a fire in you, that you will have such a fire that it'll get you up and get you moving and get you finished preparing for what is coming down the pipeline. Okay? Let's move on. I want to get to this other personal message that this whom I call a friend sent me. I want you to bear with me. I got to work both of these computers and all. Okay, so just bear with me. Take me a minute to find it, y'all. I know y'all ain't going nowhere anyway. Just sit back and chew on your fingernails or something for a minute. That's just a joke. I don't want you to do that because they disease under them. Don't do that. But I got to find him. Y'all bear with me just a minute. I got so many. Oh, man. So many personal messages. Thank God for them. But at the same time, I got... there it is. Now, this person that sent me this as a reference... to who he is and the knowledge of the feds and the training of civilian police and advanced military close quarters combat entry tactics. He said he mentioned in a message that he sent me, observed a lot of things resulting in authority, authorizing his transfer. He got away from that matter. Remember, it was he had contracted cancer. But in any event, let's go. I observed from high command position the serious difficulties the DOD, the DOJ, the feds experienced when they encountered at times some difficulties. The entry team that's going to break down the doors, they have to have their feet stabilized with the ground. This affects the ability to carry out the mission. Just bear with me. This may not mean nothing to you, and it may. Slippery floors, whether they're on the exterior or interior. Cooking oils, grease, motor oils, transmission fluids, paints. Other fluids create instability contact with entry team's boots. I'm not telling you to go run your hardwood floor with no transmission fluid or nothing, but I just want you to listen and think about what this man said. In other words, anything slippery makes it difficulty on their breach when they breach the entry, the first 12, 14 foot in the perimeter. If it's slick and they fall, then, I mean, their butt's grass and I'm a snapper. I was just using that for an example, but in any event. It said this made huge problems for them, poor foot traction and is poor control of weapons, and it makes for a tactical disadvantage for them. See, the first 12 feet inside your home is critical for any entry team conducting an unlawful entry. This will create time to defend yourself from unlawful, unconstitutional forced entry into your home. High-level officials sending me this, okay? More than likely, remember I told you lights out and most of you laughed at me about that? What I meant by that was, as an individual householder, do a lights out scenario. See how you fare in the dark without the lights, as far as moving and maneuvering around in your home with your lights or whatever, you get flashlights, have them and so. And I don't want to get into that again, but you got to understand something. When this thing cranks up, martial law, they're going to cut the power grid on a lot of places. See, because they love to come in under the cover of darkness, you see. Because they have lights on their M4s and all that, and so do I, but in any event, they says they'll turn the power grid off more than likely than they attempt systematically to invade the homes of Americans. For their safety, they prefer to use darkness during the night to gain the upper hand during forced entry. I gotta hurry. Let me read on. Most probable, they will have a support team available when the primary entry team meets the strong opposition. Should the team leader order a stand down or retreat, they may disengage and set up a tight perimeter. Be aware, they are capable of burning the house down too if they lose control of the entry at that point that they declare martial law under executive orders. All hell is going to break loose. Listen to me now, please. They will not use traditional rules of engagement or escalation of use of force. Expect no mercy from the feds in this dark moment coming in our history. Now, hear me out. I'm not advocating no violence or nothing. Like I said, I'm just telling you to prepare. But listen to me. Get this in your mind, patriot friend. They are not going to give any mercy to you. So when an unlawful entry occurs, you should not give any mercy to them. Do you understand me? Hey, the time for friggin' chit-chatting is long gone, brother, then. You understand me? It's over with. An unlawful entry is an unlawful entry. And I'm talking to these people that know the Constitution and believe in the Second Amendment. You that don't believe in it and you disregard what I'm saying, like I said, you probably done cut me off anyway. But I'm telling you, they are not going to hand out any mercy to you, and I suggest that you give them no mercy at all. That's one of the most important pieces of information I've given you in this video, is you don't give them no mercy because they're not going to give it to you. Let's move on. It says, expect no mercy, and says the New World Order wants this war with the American people. The New World Order wants it. High-level official telling me this. They want it. And they are willing to be as cruel as needed to obtain submission from the American people. Listen, I done told you this before, I'm going to tell you again. Fear is an effective tool, and they are masters of instituting that fear on the weak and the vulnerable. Don't be weak, don't be vulnerable, be ready for this. Please. This person says he would not have disclosed this to me, but he'd become very aware, seeing that he had served for many years a corrupt, evil government that no longer serves the people. They use flash, smoke, percussion grenades, devices on entry, and all this. And when they anticipate resistance of force directed against them, they require the element of surprise. They distract you by using confusion and fear to gain a tactical advantage. They will probably modify the number of team members. This may include flanking some residents from the rear door or creating distractions from around the perimeter. Remember, they require surprise and overwhelming the occupants to gain the advantage. He says he observed some Feds close quarter combat entry teams and have paramedics, DOD, medical personnel at the end of the entry teams, and they carried Class 3 firearms as well. Typically, let me tell you, I got to hurry on this one. Typically, they'll be armed with Class 3 M4, 223 H&K, MP5s, 12-gauge shotguns. They lead, in most cases, is lower to the ground. Remaining team is stacked up to the furthest side of the door, stacked to avoid friendly fire against other team members. I got to do another video. I'll be back. God knows I'm out of time.